The purpose of the contribution to business performance improvement section of the performance agreement is to ensure that everyone in the business is in some way helping the business to improve. This takes your business from being a regular competitor in the marketplace to one of the rock stars. Now, you could be forgiven for thinking that contribution to business performance improvement is all about behaving and bottom line. In fact, contribution to business performance can be a great tool for boosting morale. Because if you hold the conversations in the right way, you'll help your team members to see how what they do matters. In other words, you're building believing. And if your company has used a strategic goal alignment process, you will have worked with your teams to develop a list of the initiatives that will be worked on during the next year, which will support the business focus and their priorities. Now, these initiatives should result in systemic improvements. And here are some examples from a fictitious company that we used in the goal alignment article that I've got a link below to. So develop and implement system to track conversion rates, improve work process for XX procedure, improve system to upsell existing clients, open up 3 new markets. Be mindful that an initiative might be so big that it is divided into several projects and may have multiple goals coming out of it with multiple people working on it. For example, the initiative of open up 3 new markets may have to be divided up into 3 different project teams, each with their own set of goals, whereas the initiative of rewrite and implement quality procedures for whatever may only require 1 or 2 people to work on it. Now, if your company doesn't use a goal alignment process, which is not ideal, then simply work with your team to create the initiatives that are your best guess at what needs to happen in this year to help the business move forward. It is best if the people are able to choose which initiative they'd like to be a part of delivering. When people feel control over their choices and are passionate about a particular subject, their input and commitment to success will be that much higher. So you'll need to work with the team to ascertain each individual's interest and passions in taking on the various projects or initiatives, with a view to being able to assign people to the appropriate projects or initiatives when you're having those performance agreement discussions, which we'll talk about more in a moment. As well, doing this group discussion before you have the individual discussions ensures that there is no double up of effort or overlap between team members when assigning projects and initiatives. Now, remember, as we mentioned earlier, the goals or projects that the team member is working on are over and above normal business as usual work. The smaller day-to-day fixes should just continue to be part of their everyday work. The project's goals or initiatives should be something that's a little bit more meaty and, most importantly, enable a team member to grow and learn. But depending upon the complexity of the initiative or the project or the goal, the individual's workload and career aspirations, they may only have one thing they're working on for an entire quarter or entire year, or they might have 3 or 4 smaller ones. The team leader and team member discuss and agree to what is feasible given their business as usual workload, their level of time and or competence in the role. Remember, this process is designed to improve productivity and morale. If you overwhelm people with too much, you'll do the reverse. You'll have people who are feeling resentful and or overburdened. So be warned, do not overwhelm people with too many or too big a projects. Instead of boosting productivity and morale, you'll do the exact opposite. Ensure that for each goal or project that the team member is working on, that there are clear deliverables and timelines that can be measured. Now, if the team member needs to work on their initiative in a team or a project group, then ensure that his or her contribution can be noted in some way. For example, number of suggestions provided, number of meetings attended, number of responsibilities for action items taken and delivered as per group expectations. If there is a team or group working together on an initiative, do ensure that you're clear on who is responsible for doing and delivering what. So make use of the R chart process. There's a link to an article behind this to help facilitate this. And finally, it must be understood that some projects and activities could change as the business needs change during the period. So be flexible in your implementation.